Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for finding Bad Hombre Garage. Check it out. Do me a favor first, subscribe, and if you hit the little bell, you get notifications every time I put one of these videos out, so you can follow along on my Model A project. Hey guys, back at it out here in the garage. Pretty excited to be back with you. It's been a heck of a week in my normal life. I haven't been out here doing this as much as I wanted to, but I'm back on it today. Got a long weekend ahead of me. We're going to get a lot done. Let me give you a quick update of where we are. Stand by. Okay, so first, you guys remember where we left off last time. It's putting in the old patch panel down here. I got to finish cleaning that up. I've got to plug 2 holes, weld those up. You saw me do it on the other side, so I won't bore you going through the detail of that again. And then, you know, really looking inside this car, I'm just about where I need to just kind of clean things up a little and then put some paint down and seam sealer. Probably pour 15, a lot of the, most of it, and then some primer, paint. Yeah, man, we're going to make this happen in here. But let me show you another quick win that I had over here on the car. So my dad gave me a Driveline. Some trading or whatever. He had one around. Came out of a junkyard or a trade or something, but he gave it to me because it has the yoke for a Turbo 350, which I needed, and it's about the right size. I was gonna have it cut down and fit, but I got to staring at it, got to measuring and looking, and I realized it was 1 inch too long. But sitting over there on my parts shelf, I had another third member for a Ford 9-inch with a yoke on it that was 1 inch shorter. So I came in here, swapped out the yokes on this rear axle, and look at that. Junkyard Driveline bolts right in. That's awesome. That's a win. So now we can move on to my next few things of mounting a drive shaft loop in there, and then deconflicting the space with my emergency brake cables. As you can see, I was kind of trying to eyeball that and mock that up. This cross member on the car here is in the way for everything, but I think we'll be able to get around it. So yeah, man, I'm pretty pumped. It's happening. It's coming together. So stick with me. I'm going to knock out a couple of these boring things, and then we'll move on to the next project. All right, guys, I'm back at it. Had to take a little break there for dinner, but here we go. You can see I got my hole filled up there. That one's tidied up. I got a little spot there to work on, but man, I'm done working on sheet metal for now. Okay, since I'm on the driveline of the car, I want to talk a little bit about a safety feature. Drive shaft loop, required by the NHRA if you're going to run slicks. At least it used to be. It's been a few years since I looked at those rules. But having been involved in a couple of driveline ejections going down the highway, I'm here to tell you it's probably a good idea to have a drive shaft loop. Nobody wants to do any pole vaulting with their drive shaft, so and I'm no different. So I'm going to just put one in here and tie it off of this cross member. Come on over here, I'll show you what I've got and how I'm working this. So, in this box, had a swap meet. I think I paid $5, not 15. I've got your standard drive shaft loop, which is set up to go underneath like a muscle car. You know, it mounts under the tunnel, and you bolt this thing in like there, and another one down there. It bolts to the bottom of the car. But for about the $5 I've got invested in it, I'm going to modify this. I'm just basically going to take 2 of these loops, weld them together like this, and then build me some stanchions that come off and tie into that cross member on the car. That's the plan anyway. I even got a piece of kind of this goofy channel looking iron that I'll use so that I don't have to sacrifice these. And I'll put the 3 remaining pieces back in the box. Maybe even get my $5 back out of it, or use it on a different project. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab that thing, do a little measuring and tacking on it, and then come in here and probably grind off a little bit and build my stanchions to come off and cut it down, weld it into place. Should be a quick project. Let's get after it. kind of notched, not bad for an angle grinder notcher. We'll weld straight to the loop top portion like this, and then they'll weld into the cross member like about like that, even at an angle. So now I just got to figure out how high this can go, figure out a way to mark it, tack it into place there, and then I can tack it into place down the cross member. So yeah, let's give it a shot. Next morning. Last night the GoPro actually died while I was doing the work on the drive shaft loops. So rather than charge it and do everything last night, I just finished it up. So check it out. Here's how we ended up today. There we go. There's the old drive shaft loop. Heavy on function, light on fashion. It's pretty ugly, but if I ever need it, I'll be glad to have it. And you know, like I said before, I built a hot rod a while back that ejected the drive shaft, and I lost sleep over wondering why I didn't put a loop in that thing. Luckily, nobody got hurt. So anyway, that's done. Now my next move today, I got to come in here and I'm going to mess with my emergency brake cables. I got to build the little clips that go into the frame to tie those on, and then figure out a way to function my cables so they'll go through here and be able to tie into where my emergency brake will be, and to keep it out of the drive line. So I got to do a little thinking, but I'm going to get that done, and then we'll move on to some more exciting things. Okay, so to mount that emergency brake cable, I didn't get too tricky. Just took some angle iron, drilled a hole in it. It's about a 9/16 hole that the brake cable slips right through there. Another hole so I can like plug weld that up against the bottom of the frame. And then what I'll do is I'll just come in here and find the right place that allows a little bit of slack in this thing for suspension travel. And I'm just going to mount that down to the bottom of the frame, and then we'll figure out how to get the cables. So we'll do a little welding and we'll be back. Alright, I gotta confess, sometimes I have a tendency to over-engineer and overthink things, especially on this old car. And I'm trying not to do that here. But here we go. I got my brackets mounted, clips in. So my emergency... Okay, so now I'm trying to figure out how to tie this thing in. So I have some adjustability on my cables. And so it's not over-engineered, but it will function appropriately. So this, my handle will actually mount to the floor of the car, and it'll sit about like right there. And if you look, I have about, I don't know, a 1/2 inch here of space to shoot through there. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is build myself, probably out of this strap, connection welded to a bolt that comes through and slides in, and then has another bolt that'll tie into the bottom of my e-brake right there, and then calling that good. I think. I'll look at it for a couple more minutes and then I might start cutting the weld and see what I come up with. Alright. So sanity prevailed on the emergency brake. After I built this little bracket here, I would connect to my e-brake and then back here to my cables and have adjustment. I realized it would have to ride underneath my drive shaft loop, and then when it was at rest, it would rest on the drive shaft. So I was going to build a little catch to keep it from doing that. Anyway, it was about sufficiently over-engineered when I realized just run my cables over here, outside everything, away from the drive shaft, connect it directly down here to the bottom of the e-brake connection, which will sit about right there. I just got to adjust it, tighten it up. I'll put some cable clamps on it there. Come in there, trim off the rest. Done. I'm going to call my e-brake complete enough for now until I can put the body on and then put my handle in the floorboard. So I'm going to pull that Driveline out, clean it up, put a little paint on it, call it a day. Alright guys, wrapping it up for this project. Check it out. Here's what we got done today. Drive shaft loop finished, installed, painted up. Drive shaft installed. Remember, when you tighten down the straps on the caps there, just bring them down good and snug. Don't do them too tight or else you'll crush those and prematurely wear them out. Got my e-brake cables mounted, run, planned out, set up, ready to go. Man, it's good. Got a lot of work done for this video. If you can see in the background my pile of painting supplies. It's a long weekend. We got a lot of projects to do inside. Ugh. Alright, like, share, subscribe. Hit the subscribe, tell a friend. Tell me what you think, leave some comments. I love the community we're building, guys. Let's keep it up. See you next time.